Sparsh Sehgal. It's really great to see a woman in manufacturing. So really good to have you here. Ms. Sehgal is Chief Growth Officer at Sparsh CCTV, where she spearheads the company's expansion and the development of next-generation AI-powered video intelligence solutions. She's playing a vital role in advancing India's surveillance manufacturing and positioning the brand as a leader in global electronics and security. So let me ask you a question. Firstly, the speed, when it comes to speed and when it comes to inclusion, they move at different speeds. Today, growth and the way the technology is moving is expected to move at a neck-breaking speed. However, if you want to take everybody along and you want to create an equitable environment, that takes time. How do you balance the two? Do you find it tough? Is it really a competitive edge for you because you're building it holistically, or is it a burden that you carry?
Thank you so much, Roma. And I'm going to continue from where you left it off. What is it that we are building this AI for really? And I'm going to give you a quick glimpse of the security and manufacturing industry. I myself am very new in the industry, right? As you can tell by my age, I'm very, very new. And just last month, I was at Bharat Mandapam as well, and we had one of the biggest industry shows. And I asked my father, who's the founder of the business, he was discussing with the marketing team what gifts we are giving out. And we're big on indigenous development. And so we said, we give these pocket squares with the Indian flag on it. And my first question was, okay, what about the women? And the team said 90% will be men. They were lying. 99% were men. And it is amazing to see that in this industry that we are present in. 2 weeks ago, I was at another conference, and it was all CSOs and CIOs, the decision makers in the security industry. I went on the stage, and I was one of the 5 women in the room, and the youngest person there. And so I would like to look at this as we have to look at this as the root cause of the problem. If you don't have women, if you don't have young people in the industry, if you don't have young people who are giving you, or women who are giving you the use cases, you don't know what the requirements are, and you don't know who's building those requirements. And so realistically, inclusion only comes into play when we know who we are catering to. And this industry really does not know who we are catering to. And we're talking about the security industry of this nation. And so I'm very proud to be sitting on the stage here today and representing a company where, for us, for the last 10 years, the head of our product team is a woman, a dynamic woman. The head of our AI team is a woman. 60% of our AI team is women. And it's not just on the technology side. In manufacturing, 45% of the floor is female workers in the factory. Woohoo! And when you have representation like that, we're not sitting in the room and thinking, is it AI for her or is it AI for him? We're thinking about the use cases and the practicality of that technology. And when we think about the practicality of that technology, there are hundreds of use cases that do include women at the forefront, especially when we talk about technology. And so for us, it is a key pillar of our growth that we take that view into account. I'll give you a quick example of the technologies that are being worked upon. So it's not just AI, but it's also the new technologies in security industry. For example, there's something called a LiDAR technology, where the base case for that technology is you can detect if there is some intrusion on the railway line when the train is moving, so you don't hit someone or the train doesn't derail in fog or in those kind of conditions. And the first use case that my father and I discussed was that this is a technology that can actually be deployed in women's toilets, because that is somewhere you can't have CCTV camera, you cannot record somebody in a toilet. But this is a feature that's doing heat sensing and mapping. And that is when you start just intrinsically thinking about women use cases. And so for us as a business, and I think for the security industry in general, one of the biggest things to do is to make sure that that inclusion is included at the root level, not led as AI for her or AI for him, but built into the systems that we are creating. And so for us, it is hand in hand. In fact, I would say we will be leading the industry if we think about AI for her before we think about AI for him. And even though it is all the same, it does make a huge, huge difference in creating the security ecosystem of the nation.
That's really amazing. So inspiring to see the representation in your